In our next exercise, we'll take a look at creating a symbol map and also configuring the way your map displays on the screen. Let's create a brand new sheet. Let's call this one map-symbol. And for this, let's just double click on zip code. And I know I can click on any of these and create a map because they have this little geographic icon there, the globe. So let's add zip code by double clicking. And it might take a second depending upon the performance of your computer because it has to plot out all these little dots that all tie back to a zip code. So currently they're just plotting themselves, each zip as a blue dot. Let's now take profit and add that onto color. Okay, so it looks like we have a whole bunch of different sections now that are currently being colored based on their profit. And just for standardization, I'll go ahead and revert our color, edit colors, and we'll select the red, green, gold diverging. Apply that. Okay. So currently we have nothing that is actually being measured by the size of each particular mark. So we have our zip codes plotted out, and you can see the land mass, which Tableau has beautifully charted out for us. But if we want to visualize two measures simultaneously, we can do that quite easily. Because we're using a symbol map, we could take another measure like sales and drop that onto size. One thing I do recommend, when you have a lot of these little dots that tend to overlap, it's best to add a border. So if we come up to color, over to border, and we'll set that to a nice solid black border. So now we can clearly see each and every circle defined. And it's also important to toggle the transparency as well. If we look in this area right here, there's a whole mess of bubbles that are overlapping and even some that are hiding others. So in order to combat some of that, we can simply lower our transparency percentage to around 50%. So now we can see there's actually another bubble behind this bubble, and we have quite a big map here, but we're not really using the whole space like we should be. So let's pop over to our size mark, and we'll just drag this over just a hair. So feel free to mess around with a slider and make these circles to your liking. Right here looks good to me, so I'll keep that for now. And you also have the option to change the symbols that are being displayed on this map. Right now we're just showing circles because Tableau has suggested that using its automatic algorithm. Squares, perhaps. Interesting, a little busy. How about shape? As soon as we selected shape, we have these little circles that popped up. If you're not happy with that shape, you have the option to click on the shape box, which now appears because we have the shape mark selected. And you could toggle to any shape you wish. And there's also numerous palettes to choose from. But let's keep the default hollowed out circle. So because we have this new shape type, we can actually bring our transparency and our color back up to 100%. So we'll click on color, return this value to 100%, and now they're a little easier to see. But we may not want to keep the yellow. Let's just revert to a red and green palette. So come on up to color, edit colors. Now instead of doing red, green, gold, let's just do a red, green. and apply. There we go. That's a little bit easier to see outliers. Okay, so now let's take a look at some settings to configure the way our map is being displayed. So we talked about all the things you can plot out on your map, but you can also change the background of your map and certain characteristics. So let's pop on up to the map option in the menu, map layers, and here you have the option to toggle on or off various map layers. For example, if I didn't want to show land cover or base, I could do that by just clicking one of these layers on or off. And you could even change the background style. Currently it's set to light, but you can go dark if you'd like. I think I'll toggle the base layer back on in order to see where the land meets the water. And you could also add in other layers, for example, population growth metrics. So you can see there's a ton of different predefined attributes that Tableau provides to you that you can add as layers to your map. So feel free to play around with the different map layers you can use and the various data layers that Tableau also provides you to help you add another level of analysis to your story. Let's move on to the next unit.